happy Mother's Day to all the players on the Mavs team because they have tied up a series that many thought was over after game 2. And now, let's be real, guys. It can go either way. Now, before Suns fans attack me, I know we're going back to Phoenix and it's just 2 games, yada yada. However, in the last reaction video, I did point something huge that may or may not be significant depending on how everything happens moving forward. And that was before game 3's win against Phoenix for Dallas. The Mavs had lost 11 straight to the Phoenix Suns, all the way dating back all the way to 2019. That's 3 fucking years. Think about that. And I said, look, it's not too big of a deal, but that win, the game 3 win, could be like a little, getting a chip off your shoulder, a mental block out of the way of like, okay, boom, we proved that we can win against this squad, against this franchise organization. Let's see how we can do it moving forward, or what we can do moving forward. And now they have back-to-back wins after 11 straight losses against them. And a big chunk of that is, you guys are watching. If you guys are watching the game, if you haven't, one of the big adaptations that the Mavs have done, something I criticized a lot in game 2, was we're getting less Luka-centric gameplay, and that's a very good thing. Luka Doncic is a magician. He is a magician and artist with the basketball. Let's be honest, those last 2 plays that he had before he went back to the bench at the last minute of the game, like that that was beautiful, man. Like, if you appreciate basketball, you gotta appreciate Luka. The first one where he did the spin after killing time, going back against his defender, and then just nice little spin up right into the layup, right to the spot that he wanted. Wow. Like, I don't know, man. It's the way that he does it. And then after that, boom, gets the ball back when they get the ball back. And 2, maybe 3, I think it was 2 defenders on him. I don't know. But he was more than 1 defender on him. He's doing his thing, dribbling, crossing. I think he even did a spin. And then he did this gorgeous, straight fucking fastball past. I can't remember exactly who right now, for an easy layup, easy touch. And I was like, come on, man. Even the commentators was like, dude, this guy right here, man. So I preface all that to say that, I'm not hating on Luka Doncic. However, if you want to win championships, you can't just rely on one player. No championship team, including the ones with Jordan, did it by themselves. You gotta have your Robin, or at the very least, you gotta have a group of well-rounded individuals that will, do what they gotta do to take the squad over to the W. And that's what we're starting to get with this Mavs team. So shout out to Kid, man. Shout out to the players for adapting. It's nice to watch. And they're just finally also, they're playing the Suns game against the Suns, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about like the fouls getting in their face, getting in their heads. They got Chris Paul fouled out. Like, that could be Phoenix's kryptonite. If the overall, basic tactic or fundamental tactic of the Suns is to remove Chris Paul out of the picture, and they end up losing majority of their games like that, then it's over for the Suns, because now everybody knows what to do. And I'm not saying they're gonna constantly get CP3 fouled out for the next 2 games, but or like the next 2 W's, but like just try to remove Chris Paul, and it shows that Devin Booker and company, they're not going to be able to will a series win past them, which also goes to show how important, significant, influential CP3 is to this squad, this organization. And yeah, I mean, it's something we've talked about for years. It's been talked about for a decade now too. We're close to a decade. And I was a little scared for Jay Crowder, because man, like early on when he left because of it looked like a semi-serious injury, like he was able to come back into play, I was thinking, if Jay is out, like if he was out for the remainder of the series, kind of like what may happen with Ja for Memphis, like to me, possibly over, because Jay's body and defense, offense, just like his presence there for Phoenix is pretty important. At least in my opinion, like it helps a lot. If you remove Jay out of the picture, it gets a lot harder for Phoenix. And obviously he's not, Booker, he's not CP3, he's not Ayton, but he's valuable to that franchise, to that squad. So we'll see. But all right, let's just dive into the stats real quick. All right, Mavericks. You see Luka Doncic, 26 points, 14 plus 14 on the floor. He did have 4 turnovers, but he had 3 steals, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 7 of 8 from free throw, 1 of 10 from 3, 9 of 25 from field goal. So yes, it was a poor shooting night from Luka, but like I said, when you're a superstar, as long as you make the shots that need to be made, you're good. And that's what he did with those last 2 plays. Like, Suns were still trying. They were still trying to, like, in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, like, let's see if we can try to squeak out this win. And Mavs and Luka were like, nah, we can't let that happen. And thank God, because I want a series. You know what I mean? I don't really got a squad. I don't got a team in this. So I want to get as many basketball games out of it as I can. You know what I mean? And even when my team is playing, I still want to get as many basketball. Like, we have not gotten a game 7 yet, and I live for game 7s. Like, if you're a basketball fan and you don't live for game 7s, what are you doing? They're the best elimination games, like true elimination games. That's what makes the play-in so fun. It's just, there's nothing like it, because it's win or die right there, and that's when you're getting the best basketball effort, everything out of all the athletes. Then we got Finney Smith. He was the low-key MVP. 24 points, plus 11 on the floor, 1 steal, 1 assist, 8 rebounds, 8 of 12 from 3, and 8 of 13 from field goal. I did want to say, like, if he can keep shooting, obviously I don't know if he'll keep shooting at this high effectiveness from the 3, but if he can keep making his shots, Mavs are looking good. And then Bronson, 18 points, plus 16 on the floor, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 of 4 from free throw, 1 of 3 from 3, 7 of 17 from field goal. There was a lot of talk during the game about, like, that contract that he's gonna get next is gonna look good. How he's such a great value for Mark Cuban, and whether they should settle on him being Luka's Robin or not. I would say this: if the Mavs win this series, pay Brunson, because I'm sure you can't trade or acquire a better Robin for Luka talent wise, but like for right now, Bronson and Doncic have seemingly figured something out, and they're working well together and working well with everyone else. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because sometimes when you try to fix something, it gets more broken. And I mean, we kind of saw it happen with Kristaps. Like, when Kristaps went there, obviously aside from like the injury plague and all that, they had their own little drama, supposedly, Kristaps and Luka. And Kristaps is a talented player in my opinion, but it just didn't work out. So yeah, I do think Bronson's gonna get that nice little paycheck. Little. And then I do want to point out, besides those 3, there were 3 players coming off the bench with double digits, and we're talking about Kleber with 11 points, Bertans with 12 points, and Dinwiddie with 10. I did say Dinwiddie, man, if he can keep, he had a poor shooting night, 3 of 10, but if he can keep making shots and keep showing up, like, it could be noticeable for the Mavericks. Not significant, but noticeable, because but yeah, so as you guys can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with double digits, and I'm so happy to see that, because the Mavs need to play team ball if they have any chance of winning. Just go watch my game 2 reaction. Like, it was just Luka. You can't be too Luka-centric focus. It just messes up everything. That's not how you win championships. And now, talking about the Suns, Jay Crowder, 15 points, minus 16 on the floor, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 turnovers, 8 and 14 points, minus 15 on the floor, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, also 4 turnovers. Chris Paul, 5 points, minus 3 on the floor, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. And Devin Booker, man, he tried to save the squad today with 35 points, minus 12 on the floor, 5 turnovers, 1 block, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. And he also did have 4 fouls. Like Crowder, Bridges, and Booker had 4 fouls, and that's what I mean when I'm saying like Mavs have figured out that you gotta play Suns basketball against the Suns, meaning like do the theatrics, get that foul call. You know what I mean? Just find ways to do it. Basically, what CP3 has been doing for the majority of his career, and now you could see like that is what's happening. Like even JaVale McGee had 4 fouls, and those are the stats you kind of want to look for, because once you're at 4, you know you don't have as much freedom as a player to move on the floor and or even be on the floor, depending on how much time is left, because that's only 1 foul to give after that. You get your 5th foul, because once you get your 6th, you're out, so you only have 1 more foul to give after that, and you gotta watch out. So those are my overall takeaways from this game. Look, man, not looking good for the Suns. I criticized Chris Paul before, saying like, look, I like CP3. He was one of my favorite point guards back in the day. Not so much anymore. I'm not saying like he's not good or not. I'm just saying like personal faves. And the clutchness thing is a factor, just like how he does with pressure and when things get heavy. And I know he had a great game during this series, and I said, well, it was just the second round. If they lose this round, my silence speaks volumes. And at that point, I would consider what to do with Phoenix, because Phoenix shouldn't have this much trouble against the Mavs. It's just the Mavs happen to have a once in a generational talented player on their side, and when you have a guy like that, everything changes. I mean, it's kind of like Embiid being back on the floor for the Sixers. I wouldn't necessarily, maybe I wouldn't call Embiid a generational actually, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But you know what I mean? Embiid's a game changer. You put him back on the floor, he lost that game, and we'll find out later tonight if the Sixers win and tied up also 2-2. And it would once again show it's those special caliber players that they just switch things, and the Suns don't have that. Like CP3 and Booker, they're top tier players, but I personally, would not put them in that special upper echelon of like that guy is on that floor and all bets are off. You don't know what happens. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, LeBron used to be. You had LeBron on your squad, like anything is possible. And it's a very small group of players that can do things like that. You know what I mean? Like LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, Embiid, Luka. Seeing how things played out for Jokic, I don't know if I'll put Jokic in there, but you know he was lacking a ton of stars, so that's a little different. I would even put Ja in there, or like he's touching that. We'll see if it takes more time to really solidify yourself in that upper echelon, but he's touching it. Curry. So yeah, it's there's probably a couple more, but I gotta really sit down and think about it. But off the top, those are players I can think of. But it's a small group, and that's the biggest takeaway from this, man. It's the Mavs have Luka Doncic, and in the few years he's been in the league, we're just trying to kind of wait in and see, okay, how soon can he reach that peak that we've kind of been waiting or expecting or hoping he touches since literally his rookie year, because he just came busting doors open and just insane. But yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll see. Maybe Phoenix responds with game 5, takes it in game 6, and it's over. Or I kind of see Phoenix wins game 5, Dallas wins game 6, and then we get a game 7. I think this one will end up in 7 games. However, if Dallas wins game 5, I would say Dallas in 6. If not, then it's in 7. And honestly, that would be a toss-up for me. Like legit, that's a toss-up for me. if it goes to Game 7 for the Suns and Mavs. But yeah, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Erwin will be back for the Heat Sixers reaction. And yeah, leave your thoughts on what do you think the Suns should do to adapt and improve. What do you think the Mavs should do moving forward? Should they stick to the game plan that they've been doing for these last two games, or are there tweaks that you think they could do moving forward to really, there's always room for improvement, you know what I mean? And yeah, what you think of this game? And Chris Paul fouling out. Yeah. Oh, and also side note, I am a little not worried, but I'm a little. I wonder if the Crowder injury will linger moving forward. You know what I mean? Because injuries just suck, and if you've ever been injured, that shit it lingers. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of it, or else it'll just linger unless it's something very very small. But yeah, all right, guys. Remember, hit that bell notification. We cover every single playoff game, and you post it immediately after the game. What else? Sub, because you fuck with the channel. We know you do. Just hit that sub. Let's cross 1,000 together, so then we can just keep moving up, moving forward. And there's a lot of things that we have ideas and plans for. Once certain milestones get reached. And yeah, check out Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other podcast streaming platforms. Our Insta, our Twitter, that's our premier social media. TikTok, Facebook, all that jazz. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.